Week in review, September 11th, 2023. Start with comments. At TM-TL6QU, when choosing the new game's location, do you take into account the weather? Just curious because it seems like he said heat in Madison and how it affects the athletes is always a topic at the games. With the rumor being that the games are going to be in Texas, Madison is going to seem cool in comparison. Yeah, we've been doing this for several years, decades actually, and taking the heat or taking the local environment into consideration is something that we're definitely doing with wherever we take the games, and in however we change or tweak the format to accommodate heat or anything like that. At Joseph Ramirez 5422, have you ever considered doing a swim event similar to past sprint events? Maybe a 50-meter swim in heats with the fastest swimmers move on until there's a winner. Yeah, for sure, that's not a bad idea. Something like that would be pretty cool. At RXOP64, I would like you to need people who program for Mainsite to provide proof they actually do Mainsite on a regular basis. I've been doing Mainsite for over 10 years and always watch what's being posted. Thanks a lot. So that's an interesting concept. I kind of like it. I don't know if it's maybe it limits the people we have who could program for us with our guest Mainsite programming, meaning having someone like Rich Froning program would be cool, but does he follow Mainsite? No, he does his own thing. Same thing could be said of a number of other people. So where I do like that as a gate for who programs, I don't think it's something we're going to actually do. At William Blood 2553, thanks Dave, appreciate your perspective on a variety of topics. I found CrossFit during the pandemic with my first workout being a Memorial Day Murph, May 2020. I'd love to know what your favorite hero WOD is and why. So I think whenever I think of hero WODs, one of the hero WODs that I instantly go to in my mind is Tommy V, largely because Tommy was a teammate and we kind of started doing CrossFit early on together. He was one of the guys I exposed it to on a deployment, and he was a climber and I was into climbing, and so we were both had shared interests, we're at the same team together and we're friends, and so I helped program that workout after he died with Greg. And so Tommy, that one is one of my favorite, but not for reasons of like actually I like doing it, but just when I hear hero WODs, I think of Tommy. There's a number of other hero WODs to include Badger and a few of the other guys, that same sort of thing. When I hear of hero WODs or the concept, there's a number of these guys that I worked with or knew, and some I even went to combat with. So it's I hear hero WODs and I have connection to WODs, not for the actual workout, but because of these guys I knew. So it's a little different for me. And I even, Chad, even in that perspective, just because of what I've done and where I came from, there's a little different relationship to the hero WODs for myself. So favorite hero WODs I don't have a favorite for the actual stimulus. I have a favorite for the memory it makes me think about in relation to the actual men behind the workouts. At T7 Image, the guest programming brought this garage gym guy back to following the Mainsite. Good call on the shakeup, Dave. Cool. I'm glad you enjoy that shakeup, and hopefully you'll enjoy. I think we just announced that Boz is programming the next 2 weeks, so dive into that. At Lindac7225, I like these weekly reviews. Thank you for taking the time to do them. I would love to hear your commentary on unsportsmanlike conduct, what it is and what it is not, and thoughts on trash talking in sports. Great question. Kind of timely, and maybe you asked this because of some of the Adler and Roman stuff chirping that I've seen that's going on right now. I think trash talking and trash talking in our sport is totally fine. I think there's a point though where you might be able to cross lines and really take it too far. So as an individual, the individual has to know what that line is to where you might be taking it too far with your opponent. Um, in terms of unsportsmanlike conduct, I don't think the trash talking, even if you do, if you, there's a line where even if someone's upset with you talking trash about them or giving them shit, let's say it, and that person's uncomfortable, I don't necessarily think that's unsportsmanlike conduct. I think, hey, maybe that person should have a talk with that person, say, chill out. Unless he's making just fucking nasty insults or something like that, then that's crossing line. Touching another athlete or confronting, pushing, grabbing, like not bumping into someone during a race, but actually like aggressively, call it attacking someone, that's unsportsmanlike conduct. Telling your judge you're gonna fucking kill him while you're getting no rep, like we had with Ryan years ago, that's unsportsmanlike conduct. So I think there's some stuff that's really straightforward. I think what's going on with Adler and Roman, from what I've seen, to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's, hey, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with these athletes and these competitors where it's not all rainbows and sunshine back there. I mean, our community is really positive and we really, as a whole, get along. But there's a lot of these guys that behind the scenes, don't like each other. Behind the scenes, have issues with even in the Froning and Fraser stuff a few years ago. You saw some of that bleed to the surface, and everyone was surprised about it. But I would actually say that's more common than people think. some of the issues with athletes behind the scene and some of these mega personalities that exist. I think so. It's totally normal that some of them don't really get along or aren't really fans of the others. I think from what I'm hearing, there was some chirping going on between the two. Whatever, totally fine. I think I also heard Roman might have been upset that Adler was actually said something on the run or maybe even bumped into him. Even both of those, unless it was something really vicious, I don't see as much of a problem. Look, I think rivalry and I think even some of that in our sport is fine. It's healthy. It's probably even beneficial to us having some intense rivalries in the future. So, I mean, I saw Justin and was it one of the European athletes on the bike ride? They got really heated and they really got into it verbally during that event because they crashed into each other. Luke, and so, and then they were good the rest of the time, but they're not gonna go fucking hang out and be best friends, and that's also okay. So, trash talking the sport, I'm good with. Unsportsmanlike conduct, again, I think there's a line that you can cross, and not good with that. At PNW Charles, that's a neat looking watch. What was it? The watch I had on last week was just a G-Shock. At Zachary Cadet's Daily Training, let me tell you that doing one workout of the day is the best way to run your CrossFit class for the general population. When we changed, people did think they were getting shortchanged, but now we focus way more on the quality over quantity, and every time we test benchmarks, heavy days, or any retest, we are getting more PRs by training this way. I completely agree with Dave's thoughts on that topic as well. Cool, yeah, I thank you for the comment, and I do think it's an ideal way to train physically for people's physical well-being and for their mental well-being in terms of burnout and staying with the program. Are you ready for you to rock? Where there's a skill in reference to shooting and archery is the same as skill in gymnastics movement, in my opinion. Any chance you or Greg will go on the Joe Rogan podcast? So the skill in shooting and archery is not the same in gymnastics. The skill in gymnastics is, generally speaking, full body and physical, meaning muscle ups or handstand push-ups, core to extremity, using your hip, using your upper body strength. I say hip for the kipping nature of it, and something that is a test of one's physical abilities. Shooting, for sure, very little skill required. Very little physical skill required in traditional shooting. Immense skill in shooting. in the actual technique of shooting the gun. Archery, yeah, there's some physical skill, especially, arm strength, and there's an immense technique, but there's not full body, there's not a full body component to it like there is in gymnastics movement. So I disagree with you on that. Any chance you or Greg will ever go on the Joe Rogan podcast? I don't know. I would go if I was asked, but I don't know where Joe Rogan is with that in terms of having. In general, it seems like he's avoided CrossFit personalities for a very long time. He ended up having Fraser on, and then since then hasn't had any other CrossFitters on. So I don't know, maybe he just has something against CrossFit or CrossFitters. So I doubt I'll ever end up being asked to go on, but not a big deal, doesn't matter. So this weekend, yesterday, I went to the Norcal Classic with Sevon. Really cool event. Blair Morrison and Ben Alderman, two longtime CrossFitters, two good friends. Helped them out a little with some of the organization behind the scenes leading up. They are responsible for a majority of it though. At the event, I was getting a lot of praise and compliments on the programming. I didn't program, they did. I kind of looked at and gave some light advice, but those guys did a great job with it. Super cool event, a lot of people there, several hundred athletes, a lot of community, a lot of fans. Highly recommend if you're looking for an event to do in the future, check them out. Saw Cowboy Sweeney, saw Paulson, saw Rebecca Voigt, saw Lauren Fisher. I pull up and the first person I see when getting to the event is Lauren, and she's bawling. And I was like, oh man. And she's crying because she messed up on the workout. And so I haven't seen her in years, so it was funny. The first interaction is a crying Lauren Fisher, and went and gave her a hug, and I think she ended up doing pretty good. I don't know what the results were at the end, but it was cool seeing a bunch of affiliates and a bunch of athletes who were really enjoying that event. So highly recommend it. Try to get out there if you can, and that's it. Feel free to comment in the comment section, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks.